Many games in today's day and age have moved away from the static release plan. Games used to just release and that was it. They were done working on it and it was time to move on to the next project. This was both done by choice and also limitations on some of the older consoles like the Xbox 360. But today we have experiences like Destiny, Fortnite, Apex Legends, just to name a few. Games that are much more dynamic and evolve over time, pushing out content to keep players engaged not just for the 8 to 10 hours it takes to beat the main story, but for years. And lately, Destiny has been doing a pretty great job at this. Today we're going to review 2021's Destiny 2 content and discuss why this year may have been one for the record books. Let's talk some numbers. Here is the list for the best-selling Steam games for 2021 in no particular order provided by Valve, and Destiny 2 happens to be on this list. So that's just Steam. The game is on every other platform as well, PlayStation, Xbox, Stadia, and it's estimated that 900,000 people play Destiny 2 daily in 2021, and since Bungie has went independent from Activision a couple of years ago, they've seen 20 million new players head to the tower. So why is this? Well, first of all, the game went free to play for a bit, and also it just feels really great. It no doubt has to be one of the best shooters out there if you take time to dive into it, and Bungie definitely knows their FPS games given their track record. Last year, alongside its PC counterparts, the game also got upgraded versions for the consoles that gave buttery smooth performance and faster load times, which improved the experience overall. With a live service game, things are never easy though, and having an evolving PvE universe is a difficult feat that jumped leaps and bounds in 2021. One of the biggest complaints of the original Destiny was that the game has no story. While we've discussed that reason many times, rebooting the story and so on, this is what most non-Destiny players held on to and continue to hold on to today if you mention the game to them. But despite that cluelessness, the game got way better in the years to come. The Taken King, Rise of Iron, and moving into the Red War with a sequel.
Allow me to reacquaint you.
The difficult part about live service games is not the big expansions normally, but it's what happens in between those expansions. In Destiny 1, this was a big issue with long content droughts that made players abandon the game if they felt like they had nothing to do. Now, most games opt to add seasons over various months to keep players engaged, but that's not always the answer as we've seen. Yes, you can add new content, but that can be burned through very quick, and players could be right back to where they started, hopping onto some other game. Destiny 2 seems to have solved this problem this year though, and may take the cake over all of these other live service titles. So Destiny currently has that season release schedule, around 4 drops throughout the year that add new activities, quests, and lore to the overall universe. Beyond Light kicked off one of the best seasonal releases we've come to have. In previous years, each season would tell its own story. Go take out the Undying Mind and the Vex. Next season, go rescue Saint 14. The stories, they were great, but seasons didn't feel connected, and sometimes you would burn through that content so quick that you got bored with it already. With Season of the Hunt and Beyond Light though last year, this was the start of something great. We were first introduced to Aldrin as a guardian called the Crow and would then hunt Hive contraptions. Next up, Season of the Chosen rolls around. Crow comes to the tower guided by Osiris, and we take on a new Cabal threat, Caiatl and her new legion. Season of the Splicer. Now allied with Caiatl, we fight to stop a Vex simulation from taking over the city. Eliksni of the House of Light live alongside us with their Kel Mithrax, and everyone is still here. Crow, Osiris, Caiatl, Saladin, and many more as the story builds season over season. It then concludes with this season, Season of the Lost, where it is revealed that since Beyond Light started, a Hive god took over Osiris's body and has been inside our city this whole time. The Endless Night was her doing, bringing Crow to the city and twisting his mind around, also her. Season of the Lost would involve bringing back Marasov's Lost Techion so we could remove the evil Hive God's worm and hopefully improve things. And although we still don't have the conclusion to this season yet, most likely won't go well given that we know what happens with Witch Queen.
What is your truth now?
So just take a second to sit back and think about these epic stories. We had all of that content in a year, with COVID, with devs working from home, and if you stuck with it, it just built up and made more sense as things went on. And the content of the season didn't just all come out at once when the season released, it was spanned over weeks with their own roadmaps and made things feel much better. Not sure about you, but it felt much more rewarding to unpack this gigantic story with many different branches. You had the Fallen, Cabal, Savathûn, and then bringing it all back to the center to figure out what's going on here and what's the big picture. In this case, Savathûn and Witch Queen. Destiny 2 basically had a 5th season this year with the 30th anniversary event, which is currently ongoing. A new event, dungeon, and gear from Destiny's Paraverse. An in-universe way for characters to pull gear from other dimensions here for us to use. Things like battle rifles, energy swords, and armor. And it's not all just about the story either. These releases would bring new strikes like the Proving Grounds, activities like Override, and social spaces like the Elixni Camp and the Batsa Ruins. And although there are some negatives, like we still look forward to Crucible maps and PvP content on the horizon, the game has introduced a lot to keep players busy. Next to seasons, Destiny also sprinkles in some of its events. Like most games have holiday events like Christmas, we had the Dawning, we had Festival of the Lost for Halloween, and also Solstice of Heroes and Moments of Triumph. Each bringing new mechanics, challenges, and fun to find all around the system, like spooky pumpkin-headed monsters.
Legends say that the Headless Ones are endlessly searching for their lost ghosts. Like me!
What else did we get this year that was memorable? Well, how about crossplay? The game has had cross-save for a couple of years, allowing you to jump from different platforms with your Guardian, but now you can play with whoever you want. PC and platforms are no longer a barrier. We also got seasonal challenges, which gave tons of XP towards your season pass if you didn't have that much time to play, and gave you something to do week after week with new challenges, which was nice. How about epic dungeons and missions like Grasp of Avarice and Presage? Infiltrating a spooky abandoned vessel searching for clues about the darkness has to be near the top of the list. And with Beyond Light, we also had the Deepstone Crypt raid and Vault of Glass's return with a legend difficulty. So this year may have been pretty great, but it's just the start. Releasing the content the way they did was a great way to do things, and I'm sure we'll see more of it in the future from Bungie given the success they've had so far, and this cycle could possibly start again with the Witch Queen expansion. Let me know your favorite 2021 Destiny moments in the comments down below. Was it an expansion, a season, maybe some moments you had with your friends? Let us know your favorite moments. If you'd like to see some other Destiny lore and mysteries just like this video, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Anyway, I thank you very much for watching. My name's Evade, and I'll catch you Guardians in the next one.